If you can scroll for 1 hour but you can't work for 30 minutes, you're not burnt out. You're just distracted, and this video is for you. Let me explain what's actually happening. What real burnout actually is. This comes from prolonged, high effort plus high responsibility. It's common in entrepreneurs, caregivers, and high pressure careers. So here comes the real burnout symptoms, right? Emotional numbness. You stop feeling emotion. Cynicism towards work, deep physical fatigue even when rested, loss of motivation for things that you care about. It usually comes after months or even years of intense, meaningful output. So basically, burnout comes from too much output. Most people don't even have enough output to be burnt out from. So, right, I'm on to point number two now, guys. What distraction does to your brain, right? Dopamine and overstimulation. So, constant scrolling, guys, doom scrolling, it gives you constant dopamine spikes, right? You're getting rewarded for nothing. So, your brain adapts now to the high stimulation, right? Normal work becomes boring in comparison. So, for example, me scripting, making these videos, doing video editing, that would become boring, right? Task switching from these things also takes me a lot of mental energy. So if I've just been on my phone for like 20, 30 minutes and I've just been scrolling, watching bullshit, right? It starts off good, but you know how it is, like 20, 30 minutes and you don't even know what you're watching no more. Like you're that overstimulated, you're just like, you're looking for the next high, but you're just chasing it. It's not even coming, is it, right? The high's not even there anymore. But that basically fries a lot of energy. So like from me going from my phone for like half an hour to an hour, then trying to do this, it's just going to be a lot of friction. And by then I've already used a lot of my mental energy, and it takes a lot of energy as well switching from that to this. So you never really enter deep focus. So what ends up happening is you're not exhausted from working hard. You're exhausted from not even focusing at all. Why distraction feels like exhaustion, right? Shallow work creates mental friction, guilt, low self respect, and a load of mental clutter. Like, personally, guys, when I have a bad day or a bad week, I'm riddled with these things. And I feel like that puts so much more pressure on me and is so much more draining for me. It's easier for me just to get the hard thing done with, and I'm at peace with myself. I feel like them three things really take a toll on me and my mental health as well. So like that is very draining, and what makes you feel exhausted in the end. Open loops in your brain, guys, drain energy. Dopamine crashes feel like fatigue. Every time you avoid the hard task, guys, you teach your brain that you're the kind of person that avoids the pressure and that doesn't like doing the hard task, which then ends up making you feel more exhausted because you feel shit about yourself and you've got an identity crisis now. You feel like you're not the man anymore, right? So, like I mentioned before, doing them things and doing the hard task actually does build confidence and also more energy and more focus as well. So, you're probably just better off doing the hard task. Right, guys, this is probably the part you've all been waiting for. How to fix this problem, right? Remove the stimulation before increasing dopamine. For example, when you wake up, guys, do not get on the phone. Like, I've been guilty of this so many times. I know you guys have as well. When you get up and you just end up checking your phone for a message, it's just something so innocent in the beginning. Someone's messaged you last night, I don't know, it could be your bird, it could be whatever it is, right? And next thing you know, you're on the phone, right? It's a bit of a trap. So, what I would recommend is turn the alarm off, get straight up, this is what I've started doing, put your phone on DND. Since I've started working online, like, of course, there's a lot of notifications, right? I wake up to notifications every morning. I cannot afford to go on my phone because if I take that risk, right, if I genuinely take that risk, the risk to reward ratio does not add up. The risk is I stay in bed for another hour, and the reward is nothing to that, right? So the reward is there is no reward. So the risk is a lot higher than the reward, right? I'm not looking to take that risk then. I would recommend the same to you guys. But say, for example, if I don't go on my phone and if I get on with my day and I start my day, things flow more naturally. I will generally have more focus and more mental energy. I'll get a lot more done. I feel a lot more productive and I feel better about myself. And I feel like doom scrolling, like we mentioned before, it drains you out and it just takes energy that is not needed to take, right? We need to keep that energy and use that on something productive. Same goes for like background music or YouTube and things like that. Try to not have that running as well. And try to focus on one thing at a time as well, guys. Like, don't try to be the multitasker. We're not females, we're not women. I feel like women can multitask. I'm not a good multitasker personally as well. I feel like when I have got my head on one thing, I do it so much better. I'm so much more focused. I'm so more locked in, and I recommend you guys do the same. Also, you can train your deep focus like a muscle, guys. You can start off an hour to an hour and a half, but try to do them in sessions, right? No switching, no messing about, no going on your phone. not talking to your girlfriend, no scrolling, no PlayStation, no YouTube in the background, like I mentioned before. None of these things, right? And you can end up building mental endurance from just sticking to that one task. Also, rebuild that self-trust, right? Every day, set your 3 non-negotiables daily. Complete them. Stack these wins, guys. Even the small ones count, right? This builds confidence and it rebuilds your self-trust. Accept boredom as well, right? Boredom recalibrates the brain. Don't escape it. Just enjoy it. Take them deep breaths while sitting boredom. This would also make your normal tasks way more fun as well, guys. Like I feel like just naturally being in boredom a lot more rather than running to cheap dopamine all the time. When you do things like what I'm doing, it's not really exciting, is it? Talking to a camera or I don't know, video editing or scripting. But you know what, guys, I genuinely enjoy it most of the time because I don't have other things to enjoy. You know, like, there's not many things that I don't know. I like training. I like doing this. I like walking and stuff. But like this is what I'm saying. They're kind of boring things, right? Normally. But for me, I've ended up training myself to such a point where I find that shit exciting now. So you guys need to do the same and just cut out all these little non-rewarding dopamine things and try to like find dopamine and find that sense of achievement and happiness in things that are genuinely going to push the needle forward, right? Because I feel like with the video games, with the scrolling, with the fun things, right, what we would call fun, they're going to probably push you backwards. So you need to replace them things with proper earned dopamine. You're not burnt out, you're distracted, and once you remove the distractions, you'll realize you had the energy all along. The difference between average men and focused men isn't talent, it's attention, where you place that attention. So I would recommend fix your attention and everything changes. If this helped you, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.